Today, let's test your knowledge of 12 confusing words with an interactive quiz. Learning the difference between these everyday words will help you think in English, avoid common vocabulary mistakes, and sound more natural and confident when you speak. Your job is to look at each sentence and fill in the blank with the correct word. I'll give you a few seconds to think about your answer. Then I'll explain exactly how to use each word with real-life examples. And of course, you can download the free PDF for this lesson by clicking the link in the description below this video. Are you ready? Let's start with the most common mistake that I hear from both beginners and advanced English learners. Question 1. Read the sentence and choose the best word. We had a time at the party last night. The correct answer is B. We had a fun time. The most common way that we use funny is to describe something or someone that makes you laugh, like a joke or a comedian. It's about comedy, humor. Fun describes an experience, an activity, or sometimes a person that you enjoy or that gives you pleasure. So a party, a vacation, or a game can be fun. It's about enjoyment. Maybe the party had some funny moments that made you laugh, but the overall experience or activity was fun. It's important to know that fun can be an adjective or a noun. She's a fun person to travel with. This means her company is enjoyable. I like traveling with her. We can also use fun as a noun with the verbs have or be. Did you have fun at the concert? Yes, I had fun. This means I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. The concert was a lot of fun. So the concert was a very enjoyable experience. Question 2. Is it okay if I sit here? The answer is A. I don't mind. I want to focus on these two expressions, I don't care and I don't mind. They're both really common in everyday speaking, but I want you to be careful here. I don't mind is much more polite and neutral. It means that something is fine. It doesn't bother you or make you upset. Do you mind or would you mind if is a polite, common way to ask for permission. You're asking if your action would bother or inconvenience the other person. The expected polite answer is no, I don't mind. And this really means, yes, you can sit here, no problem. Would you like tea or coffee? Either one, I don't mind. This means I would be happy with either option, tea or coffee. I don't care is different, and the tone here is really important because sometimes this can sound a little cold or rude. It usually means you're not interested or a little annoyed. This can be neutral in a very casual situation, but I don't recommend saying I don't care at work or to people you don't know. For example, if your friend asks you, where should we eat for lunch today? Oh, I don't care. Anywhere is fine. This is a casual situation. I know this person very well, and my tone just shows that I have no opinion, no preference. But compare that to this response. Ugh, I don't care. This sounds like this is bothering me or I'm tired of choosing. Another example. She said that she forgot to invite you to the party. Whatever, I don't care. So I'm trying to show that this is not important to me, but it bothers me a little bit. Let's keep going with question number 3. There are 2 blanks this time. I didn't to buy eggs, even though I wrote it down. Next time, can you, me? The correct answer is B. I didn't remember to buy eggs, even though I wrote it down. Next time, can you remind me? Let's talk about 2 ways to use both of these verbs. The first meaning of remember is to keep information in your mind. In this context, the structure is usually remember plus a noun or remember plus an infinitive with to. For example, if I don't write something down, I definitely won't remember it. Did you remember to call your sister on her birthday? Another meaning of remember is to think of something or someone from the past again. Here we typically use remember plus a noun or a gerund with ing. I will always remember our first trip together. I remember meeting him at the conference, but I forgot his name. So the opposite of remember is forget. The important thing here is remembering is something you do by yourself. You use your own brain to bring a memory back. But let's be honest, sometimes we can't do it alone, and we need another person to help us remember something. So this is when we can use the verb remind. You can remind someone to do something, or remind someone that plus your sentence. Please remind me to reschedule my appointment later. Our boss reminded us that the deadline is next week. Another meaning of remind is to cause someone to think of a similar person or thing. You can remind someone of something. For example, this song reminds me of my childhood. Childhood is the period of time in your life when you are a child. So there's adulthood and there's childhood. Your experience reminds me of something that happened to my friend. And if you don't have someone to remind you to do something, you can always set a reminder on your phone. Reminder is the noun form. It's like a notification to help you remember to do something. All right, question 4. The coupon expired last year. It's now. It's worthless now. I know that worthless and priceless look extremely similar, but they actually have opposite meanings. Things that are worthless have no value, no use, no importance. After the scandal, the company's stock became worthless overnight. She paid a lot for the necklace, but the appraiser said it was worthless. An appraiser is the job title for someone who examines something and determines its condition or value. But be careful, because if you call a person worthless, that's extremely rude. It means that he or she has no good qualities. It sounds very serious and emotional.
I am not worthless, okay?
On the other hand, something that's priceless is extremely valuable, useful, or important. A good way to remember this is that the value is too high for any price. I'll never forget the priceless memories we made in school. This photo of my parents on their wedding day is priceless to me. Yes, these really are my parents. So if they're watching, happy 37th anniversary. Wow. Now, sometimes you'll hear native speakers using priceless informally to describe something that's really funny. not fun, but funny, in a way that makes the moment perfect or unforgettable. For instance, her reaction when she opened the gift was priceless. Question number 5 will be different. Choose the option that does not sound natural in this sentence. I have about this. The answer is C. Generally, it sounds very unnatural to say, I have a doubt in standard international English. If your native language is Spanish or Portuguese, please pay attention, okay? First, let's talk about the noun doubt. The B is completely silent, and the vowel sound is ow, doubt, doubt. This is the feeling that you have when you don't believe that something is true or right, or that something probably won't happen. Also, I know that it's common to say, I have a doubt in Indian English, but keep in mind that if you say this to a native speaker in, for example, North America, the UK, Australia, etc., we'll think that you're trying to say, I'm suspicious or I don't believe you. So if you really want to say, I don't believe that something is true, it's usually more natural to say something like, I have my doubts, or I have some doubts about something. Or you can use this as a verb. Let me show you some examples of both. He had some serious doubts about his decision. Or he doubted his decision. So the past tense of doubt is pronounced doubted, doubted. Another example. Gina says that she won't be late today, but I have my doubts, or I doubt it. This means I have many reasons not to believe this will happen. I don't trust her. And honestly, this is 100% true. I'm always late, and my friends and family know this. I'm sorry. This is a very common expression. Listen to that connected speech. I doubt it. I doubt it. That final T at the end is usually stopped, so sometimes it's difficult to tell the difference between I doubt it and I doubted something, like the past tense verb. Just remember that the verb doubt always requires an object, so you have to doubt something. I doubted something. So in that context, you know that's the past tense verb. But if you only hear I doubt it, that's a sure sign that that's a present tense verb followed by the object it. So which word do we typically use to say that we don't understand something and we need information or clarification? Well, we typically use the noun question. So if you have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments. Okay, our final question, number 6. This math problem was difficult, but I found the solution. The answer depends. It depends on the context, the emphasis, and the feeling you have. Let me explain. When you think about these two words, I want you to imagine that you're taking a road trip. There are two important things: the journey and the destination. The word finally is like the destination. Imagine that you've been driving for 8 hours. You're tired and hungry and impatient. So when you park your car at the hotel, you can say, we're finally here. Finally emphasizes the end result and that good feeling you have after a long wait or struggle. You were waiting for a long time for something to happen, and now you feel relieved or happy because the waiting period or the difficult part is done. After 7 years of hard work, they have finally finished their PhD. Let's go back and add some more context to the original sentence. I spent 4 hours trying to solve this math problem, but after one last try, I finally found the solution. You can really feel that emotion. On the other hand, eventually is like the entire journey. Let's say that before you started your road trip, you looked at the map. You knew it was a very long drive, but you also knew that if you just kept driving, you would reach your destination in the end. It was a long drive, but we eventually arrived. Eventually feels more neutral than finally. The focus is that this is not a sudden process. It just means that something happens later, after some time passes, or after a series of events. He started in the mailroom, but he eventually became the company's vice president. This implies that there were many steps along the way. Let's go back to our math problem again. After trying a few different approaches, I eventually found the solution. So in this context, we're saying that this was the natural outcome after consistent effort. Natural is important here because you'll notice that we like to use eventually for things that are inevitable. Inevitable. That's a good word to know. It's sure to happen. It will happen naturally. For example, if you don't like your new haircut, don't worry. Your hair will grow back eventually. So we don't know exactly when it will happen or how long it will take, but we know that it will naturally happen at some point. If you practice every day, you'll eventually speak English fluently. So it will take time, of course, but it will definitely happen. Remember, the important thing is to practice using these words. Try to make your own sentences. If there are other vocabulary words that confuse you, leave a comment and I'll make a quiz like this again in the future. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Gina. This is Your World in English, and I'll see you next time. Bye.